Obviously, grip pressure we can't see, but we can just see a swing that looks more fluid, to be fair, where the grip is loose. If you're a bit tight, it just gets very sort of stiff and static, okay? Ball position, as we did say, was way too far back. So getting that ball now more towards kind of centre or just sort of, I guess, left chest, that kind of thing is actually fine, but definitely further forward than where you had it before, okay? Now, obviously, chair there, you can use anything at home, I suppose, to a point that's going to be sort of around about your hip height. If you've got your back garden somewhere, stick a ball in the ground or a alignment stick or something there you can put in the ground. Just have some object there up against your right hip, and the feeling is that right hip is going to move away from the object, but only move away when it needs to move away. So don't sort of just fire it back straight away. Allow it just to rotate when the hips sort of go back and the body's turning. As the top half turns forward, okay, I'm going to start moving now. Don't sort of do it too quickly, okay? If we look at the left-hand swing, if we look at a line down here, your right knee is already going through that red line. It's even away from the leg to start with. Your knee sort of slides into that. So a lot of instability there with the lower half. Club now going a very... that was a 5 iron. I'd imagine your driver's probably even longer. Because it's a bigger club. So your driver now is going to be probably in view when you swing it. Now, if you go that far with a driver, there are chances of returning that club back to the golf ball. When you get 1 in 10 really good, it goes bloody miles probably. When you get it wrong, it's like, oh God, where's it going to go? So for me, it's about just controlling how far you swing it to try and just harness that club face and more control of it, okay? We look at this on the right-hand side now. So top half taken away. Lower half now is more rotation. Knee just moving in, the hips now kind of rotated, so you've moved kind of away from that wall there. There's a little slide just towards the end there, but overall that backswing there for me on the right is a much more stable base to then swing from. As you swing back down to the golf ball now, it looks a much more balanced finished position, and you obviously move off the chair there when you finish through. So ball forward slightly, right hip's going to move, but don't feel that when the club's here, your hip shouldn't have sort of fully rotated. When if I said to you chip a ball 20 yards, you wouldn't really need to move your hips, would you? It's just going to be torso, top half there. It's going to be more shoulders, arms, and the club. Bit of wrist hinge. Hips stay fairly quiet. Okay. As the club goes further, now your hips start engaging because the shoulders are rotating through 90 degrees. They need to move. Otherwise, you'll do some damage to your back somewhere, or some body part will start snapping around. So the hips are going to move, but it's how they move. If they can rotate more, the shoulders rotate. We're now kind of working in sync, much more stable and more compact. Whereas this way, when you sort of shoulders rotated, the knees now are already going in that first move, And once those knees start going down, you lose your height. Then, of course, if your knees bend as you come to impact, you're going to be starting to stand up, which is where that keep your head down feeling would come from, because your body's just sort of popping up on the way down, because you sort of squat on the way, and then you sort of up through the golf ball. And then people sort of see your head rising, even just this much. Oh, you top the ball, keep your head down, Dave. Worst thing you can do. Okay, understand why certain shots are being hit. Ball too far back will certainly encourage you top of the ball because the club's coming down was too early. Or if you do make a good contact with the lack of loft, you just drive it low anyway. So getting that ball in the right position, get that right hip rotating better, okay, rather than sliding. Okay, the hip needs to move and rotate in a more efficient manner. If you slide, you lose stability. It's very hard to swing, and that's on a flat lie. If I put it on a slope, you're going to fall over, aren't you? Or have a very, very limited swing in terms of the movement you can make. Okay? And I think as a backswing length, start thinking more 3/4. 3/4 spin for you is there. Okay? That feels... that's kind of your full feeling, but that's... so that therefore is basically 3/4 of what your full was. If you measure how far that club's going from there to there to there to there, that's a quarter, 2/4, 3/4 is full. So your 3/4 swing is... up here. Real and feeling. So. Make sense?
Yep.
Good man.